Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise today strongly oppose H.R. 1. This is an egregious assault on the fundamental rights and freedoms of Americans. H.R. 1 really is a fight over liberty. This is a fight over the constitutional duties and roles of the states, one of which being the role in conducting elections. Article 1, Section 4 says clearly the times and places, a manner of holding elections for senators and representatives, federal offices, shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. Having individual states conduct elections has been vital to preserving the integrity and security of elections across the country. But this debate really is about the Democrats' desire to centralize power here in one place, Washington, D.C. Instead of actively giving more power to Washington bureaucrats, we should be divesting power away from the expansive federal government and reserving that power for the states, because that's the way the Founding Fathers designed our republic. But sadly, this bill is nothing but a top-down power grab by the Democrats, using the federal government to micromanage the electoral process, impose limits on free speech, and further impose unconstitutional mandates. Folks, this is not the liberty our founders intended. In fact, this is a dangerous proposal that centralizes power, enhances big government in Washington, and takes decision-making power out of the hands of the states and the people. Now, let's ask ourselves, is this the proper and constitutional role of the federal government? And the answer to that question is no. H.R. 1 encroaches on the liberties and powers of the Constitution reserved for the states of the people, and I oppose such type of power grab. I think that's what infuriates so many Americans. We take an oath here, folks, to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. We shouldn't be passing bills like H.R. 1. We should be passing bills that preserve the liberty and freedom enshrined in the Constitution. I encourage all members to adamantly oppose this legislation, because if you take your oath seriously, because we aren't voting for a fancy title of a bill, when you actually read the language of this legislation, you see that it undermines the Constitution and the rights of every single American across the country under the guise of making elections safer. And with that, I yield back.